Hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So a bit of a different one today, a bit more of a chilled vibe. I'm in my PJs, sat on my sofa, and I wanted to do a bit of a health update and also run through my last set of bloods with you all because I've never done this before on YouTube and I feel like it would be a great idea. So if you're new here, my name is Dominica. And I've been through quite the health journey. I used to compete back in the day. I'm a nurse and I ended up with Hashimoto's, hypothyroidism, a load of hormone issues. I lost my cycle for a long time, post-competing, obviously over-dieted, and what else? And then came down to the root cause of everything, and then discovered that I had mycotoxins in my system. So it's been quite the journey, I must admit. But things are much, much better now. I've been fixing myself for the last 4 or 5 years. And got my Hashimoto's into remission, and every kind of 6 months I retest everything just to see how things are and whether I'm still in remission. And every time I do that blood test, I'm nervous as hell. So a little bit of background. My cycles have been pretty regular, every 28 to 32 days-ish, but my temperatures on Aura have been very up and down. I used to have really weak ovulation. I had a bit of issues with bile flow, which came out when I was detoxing from my mycotoxins, because obviously mycotoxins take a huge toll on your body. I nearly kicked my remote off the bed. So obviously we want to make sure that everything's kind of in range, etc. when doing saunas. So I'm going to run through my bloods with you all, and I'm going to show them on the screen, kind of how I see them here on my phone. So let's start with the most important one, which is the thyroid, okay? And this isn't the best thyroid result that I've had, I'll be honest. But what we've got to bear in mind, I literally finished 15 week dieting phase, which for the first time in a long time, my body actually responded. So naturally, your thyroid's going to take a bit of a hit post-dieting, and we can see that mine definitely has. Although my antibodies are still more or less non-existent, which means I'm still in remission with hashies, but my thyroid is out. My TSH I would want between 1 to 2, it's 0.38. My T4 is 8.3, still quite low, and my T3 is quite low as well. But I know once I've started bringing my calories back up for a good 4 weeks now, so that should improve itself for sure. And whilst we're on this page, we can see my iron results. Now, my iron is grey, my transferritin is grey, my ferritin is a little bit high. Now, I don't use the acceptable ranges that are on here, I use my own functional ranges. So with my ferritin, I'd kind of want it no more than 150. However, I am supplementing iron at the moment because when I had my bloods done back in January, my iron was quite low, I was very fatigued, so I added an iron supplement in. And it's brought everything up. Now, I'm in two minds whether to kind of take the iron out or not at this moment in time. I'm still yet to decide because I don't want it to drop, especially now that I'm back in the saunas and back kind of detoxing, but also I don't want to be overdosing myself either. On that page, we can also see my blood sugars, which are obviously fasted. They're absolutely fine. And my CRP, which is my inflammatory marker, is nice and low. We want that below 1 and it's 0.4. So from that perspective, things are great. Then we can see my hormones, which I'm actually really, really happy about. I've had a very strong ovulation. So I had these done cycle day 25, which technically is a little bit late. And I checked my Oura ring and I ovulated around day 18, 19, I think. Or maybe even 20. I can't remember, but I'll pop it up on the screen here. And a bit of a later ovulation. My luteal phase is short, but from when I remember, from when I've always tracked my periods and as long as I can remember, I've always had a pretty short luteal phase, around 11 days. We want it like 12, 14 days. Mine's a little bit shorter, but I'm still working on it. But this is the strongest ovulation that I have had, and we can see that because the progesterone is high. But it's a very good textbook cycle, and even on my Oura ring, the temperatures are very consistent, which is absolutely great. My prolactin is in a good place. My SHBG is great. The only thing that I can kind of see is my DHEA is a little bit on the lower end. I'd want it like 8 and above, and it's sitting as a 4. But with the fact that I've got mycotoxins and SIRS, which is chronic inflammatory response syndrome, that often does knock off our sex hormones, and depending on what mold you have, it has an effect on like estrogen dominance as well. So actually my DHEA, like, yes, it's a little bit lower, but I do reckon with healing the mold that it will come down. So from that perspective, I was really, really happy. Then my cholesterol, again, I always look around 4.5 to 5.2, so my cholesterol is actually much better. We often see that people with thyroid issues or mycotoxin issues, that cholesterol can be a little bit knocked out, but mine's absolutely fine. I'm happy with my cholesterol. It's definitely better than what it used to be, which means my thyroid's functioning better. Triglycerides, absolutely amazing. Uric acid, again, in a great place, meaning there's kind of no oxidative stress there either. Zinc, I do supplement, so we're sitting in a nice range here. And vitamin B12 is a little bit higher. Now, I don't take B12, but B12 can actually be a little bit high when there are mycotoxin issues as well. So that's just something just to kind of bear in mind. Folate is fine, kind of borderline. Magnesium is great. Vitamin D is on the higher end. We kind of want vitamin D between 100 to 150. Mine's 155, slightly above. I don't supplement it. I live in a hot country, so I'm naturally getting the vitamin D in, which is absolutely great. My bile flow, as I mentioned earlier, I knew there was an issue with that because I was going into the saunas and I was feeling terrible. And when you're detoxing from mycotoxins and you're going in the saunas, effectively, you're meant to start feeling better. But I was actually feeling worse, and that's because I wasn't supporting bile flow. So supported bile flow, and now looking at my markers, like my bilirubin, for example, it's improved. So it's sitting in a much better place. So liver function, definitely in a good position here as well. And then my red blood cells are pretty decent as well. There's obviously, we can see that MCV is a little bit high, but again, I'm not concerned from that aspect. Is there anything that I have missed? I don't think so. I'm quite happy with how things are looking. MCV being a little bit higher could be potentially related to my ferritin being a little bit high, or mycotoxins as well. So yeah, this is probably the best set of bloods that I have seen since I've started my healing journey, if I'm honest. So I'm in a really, really good position. So the plan at the moment is bringing calories back up post-diet to get my thyroid function in a much better place. And I'm back in the saunas. I've been detoxing for a while now. I took 6 months off saunas because I felt so bad and I wanted to fix things, and then I was traveling. So I'm kind of back into the swing of things with saunas now. So the aim here is to slowly rebuild them back up, take my binders that I should be taking and keep supplementing, and then retest the mycotoxins end of the year and hope and pray to Lord that it's come down and then my SIRS symptoms have improved. But all in all, I'm definitely feeling much better. Granted, I probably look tired today, and the last few days I have been a little bit more tired, but my sleep hasn't been great. I've just been scraping 7 hours, 6.5, which I always tell my clients, make sure you get at least 7 hours. So the big focus for this coming week is getting sleep and recovery is really, really big, because I can feel it affecting me if I don't. So yeah, that's the health update. Right now, things are definitely in a much better place. I started to lay boundaries with people. I'm controlling my nervous system a lot better. I don't get as anxious. And again, that's because I'm supporting myself in the right way, and not just via supplements, nutrition, training and sleep, but also boundaries, speaking up, and protecting my peace. As I have a tattoo there, protect your peace. Because if you don't, your nervous system's going to get dysregulated, and people are obviously going to have an effect on your life. So yeah, that's my little health update. No vlog this week. This is my kind of vlog. I am literally in 2 hours leaving to go to the airport, and I'm flying again. Your girl can't sit still, I'm telling you. I get so when I don't travel, I get unsettled and I want to travel. And then when I'm traveling, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to be back home. Can't win. Honestly, it's just a Gemini thing, isn't it? If anyone else is a Gemini, they'll understand. We get bored very easily, even though we love routine. Make it make sense. Anyway, if anyone has any questions in regards to my health, bloods, anything like that, just drop me a message. You know where to find me.